Hello, hello, dear friends. Chris here. I hope everybody's fantastic today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Again, I'm Chris. If you enjoy this, please do those YouTube things like, subscribe, share, comment, etc. It'd be very much appreciated. And to all my dear friends and returning true blues out there, thank you so much for your continued love, support, kindness, friendship. It means the world to me. So, I am doing kind of like a WIP Chat sort of thing. But this is a tagged question sort of... sorry for the arm. WIP Chat. I was so incredibly touched, moved, surprised, and honored that I was one of the 5 people that Mrs. C, I call her that, Mrs. Coffee, she tagged me to do these questions. Tag questions. There's 25 of them. Before I get to that, let's just talk a little bit though. I've kind of been, well, today is, I'm probably going to put this up today. I haven't recorded in quite some time. And I wanted to put something up that's not an unboxing. So it's June 30th. And I've just kind of been really, for the most part, MIA from the socials, from the YouTubes, besides putting up, videos that were already recorded, of course, but not going to lives, or if I did go, I'm not saying anything much at all. I've just been in a very, bad kind of headspace lately, lulls. It's something that happens from time to time. It's very much seasonal kind of depression. And it just hit me really hard this time. Usually I, can deal with it within about, let's say, a week or so. But it's been longer for me this time. And it's just everything is... I hate to be a downer to start, but before I even get to questions, but, I'm just letting you know what's going on. Sorry, so I don't want to be a downer, but it's just my life, So, I don't even remember where it was, but it's just, I always like to say when someone asks, and if I decide to open up a little bit about what's going on or stuff like that, I'm want to point out nobody did anything to me, nobody said anything to me, it's nothing nothing happened. It's just seasonal depression, just regular depression, just extreme irritability and anger and frustrations and, I don't even know. It's just I'm feeling all the feelings, all the bad feelings, and it just seems like everything that it just seems like everything's happening all at once. And, little trigger things, something will happen or someone will say something, meaning, again, when I am kind of lurking around and about, and it just, triggers something in me and triggers, memories of similar instances, so it's deja vu, and it's well, of course it's happening again, and again, nothing good. So oh, by the way, I'm working on this little thing. I finished my this is going to be all over the place, by the way, certainly until I get to the tag question. So it's June. I'm hosting 2 events, co-hosting them. I'm doing the Romy Lerda event and the June Pride event. I've basically compiled all the names by now, except if there's maybe a late, weekly kind of entry or something. So it's all taken care of. I just got to figure out, the end game with that stuff. Again, another time I really wish I would have been a little bit more, excuse me, sorry about that, able to be active. It's just... per usual, things happen when I'm hosting events. Last year, I don't even remember what. It was just, I kind of felt like I wasn't in it enough, or stuff was so much stuff was going on. Well, that was during Rude, Nude, Crude, and Nude, which, by the way, Rude, Crude, and Nude 2 is on this year. It's for August. Don't forget, if you want to be part of it, it's adult theme kind of stuff. But again, all over the place. But yeah, so this year with the Pride and the Romy event, like really halfway through it, when I started to check out, because mental stuff and emotional stuff and all that, so where was I going with this? So I kind of feel bad that I wasn't, as active in the group as I could have been. So I'm sorry about that. It's just, life stuff hits at the wrong time. But I do want to again reiterate that I did certainly love seeing the participation and seeing all the projects. It really meant a lot for everybody who joined both events that you joined, and I thought it was absolutely great of you, and thank you so much, everybody. So I finished the canvas I was doing for Pride, my main canvas, my Distracted by Diamonds Gray Pride canvas, and it came out beautifully. I'm going to have the post review very soon. I already filmed it. But it's just in the queue waiting to go, so you'll see that. And so since I finished that, I kind of was in a lull. I haven't touched my Romy canvas in weeks. I got through a certain amount of it, and then I put it down, and I haven't started back up yet. And I'm just not in the mood for it. So I can't force myself to do stuff that I don't want to do. So I did another canvas, which was a pop art one. I had been wanting to do it for a long time, and I finally, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. So I do it. Again, that'll be post review up soon. It was a custom I had done. Excuse me, sorry about that. I'm in that kind of don't give a kind of mood. So normally I would have stopped to blow my nose, but whatever. So I did that canvas. That was quick because it's tons of color blocking. And then I was like, I don't really feel like starting anything else. And plus, my dad's going to be home starting tomorrow, which is Saturday. He's taking the next week off. So I really not going to have time, depending on what stuff we're going to have to do or he's going to want to do and, all that. And I don't really like diamond painting too much when he's around. Just because I think it's rude, and, it's just, I leave it to when he's not here, so, so I do these little projects, usually, or small, like, special drills and stuff, like, either at night or when he's, around, and so I started this one. This is one of those ones I've had for a long time. Oh wow, almost 10 minutes. I haven't even gotten to questions yet. Yeah, this is so this is one of those like hanging projects. It has the moon, and then this is the sun goes inside the moon. It's really pretty. I'm gonna have it for a while, but I decided, you know what, I don't have many special projects left, so let's get this out. Let's get the other ones out, and I'll probably be working on these for the coming week or 2 weeks, let's say. Oh, and then there's also the fact that with again the depression and the anger, the irritability, the just feeling all the feelings, irrational, don't know why, but I just am. Well, then I have my physical stuff that I feel just so sluggish lately. It goes with the heat and being heavy. But then we had let's see, the other day. What was it the other day? I don't remember. I thought it was something, but... Well, yesterday I had a neck ache. And for the past... And I hoping it's not going to bother me now, because I really haven't been able to do much with diamond painting, because the last day or two I've had the neck ache, and so it's kind of like stiff neck. And if you know, when you have a stiff neck, moving it side to side, how it hurts like that. It's similar, but not. The only way I could describe it is because it has a little bit of that feeling, but I can move my head, and it doesn't hurt right now, so it comes and goes a little bit. But it's not side to side, but it's up and down. And I don't think it's from diamond painting. I think it is from sleeping. It's just, sleeping is just a horror show for me. There's so many things and ways I can't sleep, or things I have to do to sleep, and it's just as I'm getting older and older, it's getting worse and worse and harder to sleep. So the way I kind of slept on it, because I've had this before a few months ago, the same thing happened, and it was because of the sleep. So, and I don't think it's from diamond painting. And if it is, I'm screwed, because I have to look down to diamond paint, and that's kind of what it is. Or it could be when I'm just like, when I do diamond paint, I have to say, after a while, I kind of do get sleepy. So sometimes I kind of like nod off, and maybe it's just wrenching my neck or something that way. That's messing it up. Anyways, I know you don't care about this, but so that's kind of been going on. And today I had a big old headache to deal with, and wasn't happy about that. It's just one after the other. That's just like added on to my emotional state that I'm in. So that's kind of what's going on with the event stuff, I think. So remember, August is Rude, Nude, and Crude 2. Please join us. Remember, adult themed stuff. September, I believe it's September, is Jewel of the Nile, which is Egyptian themed. And that's all I'll talk about for now. As far as the event stuff goes, talked about me a little bit with the health. What else? I guess that's it. Let's get right to the 12 minutes in. Let's get to the tag questions. This will be fun, so maybe I'll have to put a caveat at the beginning saying the fun part of the thing will come at some point, By the way, I am feeling a little bit better today, so I am able to joke around. But anyways, thanks, Mrs. C, again for tagging me. I have my little questions here on the phone. So, let's see. Tag 1. How many diamond paintings have you completed? Well, no idea. Because I do big ones, medium-sized ones, snack-sized ones, special drills, full drills, all shapes and sizes and all that kind of stuff. I have no idea. I've been diamond painting for 4.5 years. Let's say 400. I don't know, because when I've done my year, I haven't done necessarily the year in review, but when I post my finishes, I usually post them as batches, at least some of them. And so I know I get up to 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, a year. Because remember, I'm doing a lot of little stuff too. So it's not like I'm doing, 180 by 60s or something. So let's say, who knows, between 300 and 400. And I include the projects like this and everything in between. So that's what I'll say for that. It's a lot. I have nothing else to do. This is my time, so... I have slowed down, though, from what I used to do. I will say that. Yeah, so... where'd the list go? 2. How many diamond paintings do you currently have in your stash? Alright, again, like I said, this includes all special projects, partials, big projects, squares, rounds, everything in between. Let's say, and I just did the stash video, by the way, like 2 months ago, so go look if you haven't seen it yet. It's a long one. It's like 2.5 hours. You can watch it in clips if you need to. I have that point. I count. Oh yeah, I did count at that time. Of course, I forgot to put it in the video itself, so I had to put it in the description when I kind of broke down what I had, exactly what I had. To categories. But total, it was something like almost 280. It was 270 something, but I'm gonna say probably like, again, same amount, because from what I've done since then and the other stuff I've got, let's say 275 to 285, 290, something like that. But again, a lot of little stuff. Now, those aren't all big canvases. When did you begin diamond painting? I began diamond painting in June. Well, I found out about it and I started like February of 2019. I found it on an ad on Facebook. There was this pretty picture of, I think, of like a flowers in a vase. Sorry, I'm just blanking. I was actually thinking about something else. I see I'm all over the place. There was in a Facebook ad at that time, there was a picture of the flowers in a vase, I believe, and they were all super sparkly and pretty, and it said, diamond painting, and I was like, I literally thought, okay, well, it is what it is. It's a painting. I know it didn't actually have, didn't have real diamonds on it, but it gets sparkly, so I, clicked on it to see what exactly it was, not knowing it was a craft. I just thought it was something you'd bought to hang up or something, and, so I then went to the YouTubes and looked a little into it, especially after seeing it wasn't that much money. It was probably like $10, $15, whatever it was, from Amazon. And I looked a little around, found out what it was, and I decided to give it a shot. So I bought some from Amazon. So that's how I got into diamond painting, and that was January was when I found out about it, and so I started it about end of January, beginning of February of 2019. 4. If you could only purchase from one diamond painting company for the rest of your life, who would you purchase from and why? Again, an easy one, Diamond Art Club. It's not a surprise. Sorry to be very basic, but for me, it's all about renders, pictures, and when I'm doing, if I'm buying something, when I'm doing, a larger kind of size thing, and even if it's smaller, but I just think they have the best renders of anybody I've seen, and that to me is important. How the finished product will look. So that's kind of an easy question for me. 5. When diamond painting, what is your go-to media to consume? Audiobooks, podcasts, YouTube, etc. So it used to be, I used to watch a couple things. I would have, because I generally have I hate to call it a schedule, but that's kind of what it is. I get up in the morning, and it's still similar kind of now, but a little different. I don't know. So when I would get up in the morning, I would watch YouTube. I would, see what was posted from, the people I watch, either overnight or from the day before, or if I've missed videos. And so I'd watch that kind of for a few hours, and then I would stop and I'd watch The View, or at that time, kind of Wendy Williams, and then The View. And then, but in between, sometimes if I wasn't watching YouTube in the morning at that time, I would watch maybe like the cable news, MSNBC. And then usually, because The View comes on here in the East, in New Jersey at 11 a.m., so it's an hour show. Excuse me. So it'd be over at 12. So I watch it, and I'd be dime paint from I got up to about 12 o'clock, 11:30, 12, whatever it was, before I ate lunch. I'm not somebody who usually eats, well, I do now, but I never really ate breakfast very much. So I'd have probably something tiny, and then or a little snack or something, and then at lunch, I'd actually have a real lunch. And then I'd, have lunch, and then go in the living room after that for a few hours. And depending on the day, I would either come back to diamond paint before my dad came home, or I would just wait till after he came home. And usually if I was cooking or after dinner, to diamond paint again at night. Sorry, I just found one I forgot. Nowadays, because we got rid of excuse me. Oh. Then, so that's kind of the first part of it. But I also would, at points, I would watch, if I didn't have anything to watch on YouTube, I would watch shows that I DVR'd, like true crime shows. I haven't watched true crime shows in quite some time now, but I would watch true crime shows and maybe Murder, She Wrote, stuff like that. But recently, in the last few months, we got rid of our cable, and so now we have TV through YouTube TV, and we have other kind of streaming services too. But beforehand, we had the cable, and so now having through YouTube, it's a lot cheaper, but it's also less channels, and it's just a different viewing experience for me. So I tend to find I don't tend to watch anything almost but news, and I know this is going again completely away from the question, by the way, but now I tend not to watch anything but generally the news or a couple other things. Maybe I was watching Give Me a Break. I watch occasionally Murder, She Wrote, but not even that, because the DVR or the YouTube TV, it records everything. You can't choose. If I want to tape Murder, She Wrote, I can't choose what episodes to tape. And that's what I used to do with the DVR, so I could watch them when I wanted to, the certain episodes. Now everything is in there, and I have to try to search through everything. And it's good that's there for a way, but I wish you could just take stuff out, because now I don't actually want to search through it. It's a big rigmarole, so I don't even watch hardly anything on there but news and maybe a couple other things here and there. And so that's kind of what I would watch when diamond painting. Sorry about this whole thing, but generally still it's the same thing. Now I'll watch news, or I'll watch YouTube people. I'll watch reaction videos. I watch I watch Poirot and Marple, those two series. I watch them in a loop. I just can't get enough of them. So that's kind of what I watch now. 6. What is your favorite category to diamond paint? Landscapes, fantasy, animals, etc. Mine is, of course, portraits. I've said it before, I said it again. I love doing portraits. I love doing people. Usually I prefer to have it again, because of how things render. I like it from, about chest up. I don't like long body shots because the faces are so small and, it's harder to see and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a big fan of landscapes. I have done them. I probably might have one or two in my stash still. I don't know. By the way, these are Diamond Art Club ones. I don't know how old these are, but these are super sharp. I mean, the point on that is lethal. But I tend not to do many landscapes because I can't deal with the browns and the greens and the maroons and the dark purples that come along with it. It's just too much of one thing. Again, I have done some landscapes, and it was a chore. At least a couple of them. There was some that were nice to do. With that said, I would prefer to do a landscape of a fantasy thing, like Andy Russell. His was really fun to do, the one that I did for Mystical Diamond Art, and that came out great. And I substituted stuff in that, and you know, but so I tend to like people. Animals I'm not too into. But my favorite are, portraits. I love doing flowers. I could do them for a million years. I love doing butterflies. Those are kind of my tops. People, butterflies, and flowers. Oops. No, now I turned it off. I got to put it back on. Let's see. 7. What is the artist you have completed the most diamond paintings from? Now, when I heard this, I was trying to figure it out, and I'm not sure. Because I don't know. I want to say could be 2 people, maybe 3 people are in the running, because it was very similar. It could be Hannah Lynn. It could be what's her name? Mandy Manzano. Or those are from Diamond Art Club. Or it could be Natalia Zagori from Crystal Canvas Arts. Because I know I've done quite a number of hers. So it's probably in there somewhere. I've done a handful of each of them. I don't remember exactly each one right now. But those are the artists I know I've done multiple canvases of. Probably somewhere, again, in the handful. 9. What is your go-to wax when diamond painting? Again, it's simple for me. My preference, what I found most useful and helpful for me. We all have different ways, or different, products that we love and that work for us and doesn't work for other people. For me, in my single placer, I always use the glue dot. Micro glue dots, I love them. And for my multi-placer, I just use the good pink wax. I've tried so many other stuff, and they're fine. Even the putty, I was doing well with that. But then it kind of I don't know what happened. Even with that, it was not as great. But it started out great, and then it just kind of what happened? It's not working as well as it used to. Maybe it's the heat or something, I don't know. But yeah, so I use the micro glue dots, single placer, good pink wax. It has to be the heart pink wax, basically. And this isn't only Diamond Art Club that does these, but it has to be this good pink wax, this not see-through, not super dark, and not that light stuff either. You could tell what it is. And so that's what I use on my multi-placer. And I don't really have much issues with either of them. I always fiddle with them, of course. That's what he said. But it's just I would do that probably anyways. So those are what I use. I've missed another 6 here. Okay. What do you do? 10. What do you do with your finished diamond paintings? Do you hang them, put them in portfolio, or something else? Yes to both. So I have some hanging up. I have some framed. I have some not framed, but just hanging up. I have tons of them in the portfolio. I have tons of them. When I say hanging up, I have them. They're either in a frame. A couple of them actually are in a frame. The rest of them are are just tacked to the wall with the thumbtacks, or yeah, thumbtacks. Push pins. I mean, push pins. And others, the rest of them are in portfolios. The smaller ones, the larger ones that aren't on the wall, are just on a desk. Excuse me, not a desk. They're on a table, like a fold-out like card table in my bedroom. You know, kind of waiting their that's where they live. Maybe waiting their turn till one day I'll hang them up. In a rotation kind of system. I'm just too lazy to actually rotate them right now. But that's where I keep my finished ones, in those basic, wall portfolio and on the card table. I'm sorry this is such a mess of a video. I really wanted to do a good job, but I feel like I'm not. 11. Do you like to open your kits right away, or do you keep them sealed until you're ready to work on them? Nope. They are opened right away. The only time I don't open them right away is when is because I basically film everything. If I don't get them, if they arrive at a time when I can't film at that moment, then I have to maybe wait till the next day, or sometimes wait over a weekend. Then that's what I'll do. Otherwise, as soon as they come, I'm getting the camera out and we're filming and getting ready to see what's in that box or what's in the bag. I do not like waiting. I don't understand how people forget. I don't understand many things. I don't understand how people forget what they bought. I never forget what I buy. I know everything that I have bought, or what that I've, expecting PR from, or the stuff that people said they sent to me. I know exactly what it is, and I know when they're coming. I don't understand how people forget. Just like I know everything I basically have. Can I name them all now? No, but I'm not going to be like, oh my God, when I see it, I forgot I had that. No, I'll be like, yep, okay. Where was I going with this? Oh, opening it. So, yeah, I tend to open it right away. Unless the circumstances are not able to. And then when the circumstances there where I can, they're opened with speed. Because I love to see it. I'm this kind of person that I love to see it. I love to feel it. See what it looks like myself. Okay. 12. What is your number one unicorn kit that you currently do not own but hope to one day? I've kind of gone back and forth and trying to think what it is. I could I would say I'm not as far as any kit, I'm dying to have one, and if I don't, I'll be forever unhappy, that I didn't. But there are a few that I really want that come close to it. So one is that I can actually get now if I wanted to, but I just can't afford to. I've just bought in so much this year, I just can't. It's that, and that's that Yume Art one. It's the round long one with the violin or viola. It's not the new one. I did get that new one. But it's the other one. It's the really long one. So there's that one. There is a Crafty Mint one that my friend Sue, she actually has it and said she'd give it to me, or I could buy it or whenever, but I just don't have, again, she had stuff going on earlier this year, plus now I don't have the money for it. So maybe one day I'll be able to get that, and it's a Crafty Mint, excuse me, and it was, I don't know if any of you have heard of or remember Crafty Mint, but it was a small diamond painting company, and they actually sold some stuff online, on Amazon, and there was this one that I really loved. It was called, I think, Arctic Wonderland or something like that, and it's it looks like a excuse me. It's like, again, crazy for me to want this. It's a big one. It's a big square and like basically all white because it's kind of like an, what's the word? Not ice cap. It's glacier. It's like a, did this move? What happened? I don't know. It's like a big old glacier. With like the cracked ice and everything, and I guess like mountain kind of in the background. It's really nice. So that's the second one. Now that they're out of business, that's no longer available. It just happenstance, and I think it was Mindy's live one day. This subject came up, and I said what I wanted, and she said she had it. And so that's the only reason why I even know she had it, and I didn't think that would ever be a possibility for me to get because, again, it's so obscure. And the third one is one from Diamond Art Club. They don't make it anymore. It's just discontinued. I think it's by Julia Filipenko, and it's called Cat Turn. Like Saturn, but Cat Turn. And it's a like portrait one of a girl, and she's holding a cat, and the girl's hair, she has like these two buttons on the side of her head, and around them is like rings, and it looks like Saturn. Hence, Cat Turn, cat, and the Saturn rings. So those are the kind of the three that I really, really love. That I don't have. And again, like I said, I probably can get the UMAR at one point, and if Sue's still willing to, give me the Arctic Wonderland thing, I could probably get that. But the Cat Turn, I don't know. And I'm not somebody who control, do stash groups and search for it. It's kind of like if it somehow makes its way to me, great. If not, oh well. But I really did love that one. I was hoping that it was stay in stock until the sale, I think last, at the, who knows, whenever it was, their, like, Black Friday sale or something, but no, it sold out right before that, so I don't know where this one gem came from. I don't know if it fell off and I'm not seeing it, or it just got stuck back there. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. What is the kit in you? Oh, sorry, this is wrong. What is the kit in your stash you are most looking forward to working on? Oh, wow, that's a really good question. Now, that I would have said for sure if I didn't just work on it, but I had the answer beforehand was the Gay Pride, the Gray Pride kitty. I had been wanting to work on that since Miranda, thank you Miranda, gifted that to me last year. I just love that, and I knew I wanted to do it for this year for Pride, and it was so hard, guys. It was so hard holding out on doing it, but I did, and I did it for the Pride event, and I'm so glad I did, and it came out beautifully. I absolutely love it. So that was like the one that I couldn't wait to work on. What moves up in its space now? Wow. I'm thinking. You know what it probably is? And but I don't know why I've kept it this long, but I just haven't done it. It's one of probably my oldest ones, and certainly my oldest one from Diamond Art Club, because so the first Diamond Art Club I ever bought, I did, and the second one I bought, I have not done. The second one I bought was, I want to say, I think it's Mandy Mazzano. It's the Ice Princess. And I love that one. It's beautiful. It's the full body one, not the crop one that they sold later on. And I really want to work on it. I just never have gotten around to it. I don't know why. But that would be probably on my list of the ones that I want to work on the most in my stash. Um, 14. Do you prefer confetti, color blocking, or a mix of both? I would say definitely a mix of both. I'm somebody who kind of likes line blocking. That's my favorite. That's why I love doing things like Mandy's because, or Regan Chat from Dreamer Designs, because there's a lot of outlining. It's kind of like coloring book, the black outline, and then you kind of fill in. Those are kind of my favorite to actually diamond paint for as far as regular drill goes. I love doing, that kind of regular diamond painting the best. I don't like a lot of confetti. I don't like confetti for confetti's sake. Again, I'm gonna controversy. Having a million colors does not make a picture beautiful. I'm sorry, it just does not. At least not in my opinion. I don't think that you need a million colors to make it look pretty or to make it look defined or detailed. I think a lot of that is made. What am I trying to say? How am I trying to say it? I think that belief is a lot of is made out of. I can't think of what I'm trying to say the way I'm saying it. Sorry, guys. Again, I'm just a mess. But too much is made of it. That's what I was trying to say. Too much is made of the amount of colors. And we'll get to something else in a minute because I know it's coming up. Now, that's not to say I think that it needs to look cartoony and have just 10 colors. No. I understand the use for colors and a lot of colors. I just think it's just overstated. For instance, I'll tell you this. I have seen so many of these gigantic Josephine walls with the 300 colors and everything, and I'm like, okay, so basically it looks nice, but it's just basically a blob of color, that looks that sort of looks like something. That's just my opinion on it. I just think it's way overstated, the amount of colors needed for diamond painting. And that's kind of why I talk about having to fix a lot of things when I'm doing some certain paintings, because they just put too many colors in certain areas, and especially with words or with not shadowing, because I understand the need for shadowing or definition, but just if you have a hand you're doing, and so instead of just putting again, going back to my favorite, which would be a solid black line to define it. No, they'll put 10 different colors in there with greens and purples and pinks and stuff. I don't need that. I think that doesn't look right. Too much. That just bothers me. And why am I going off on this tangent? I don't know. I don't even remember the question. Did I answer the question? Color blocking or confetti? So, and too much color blocking. If you have to do a huge thing color blocking, listen, it gets you through the painting real fast, which I like. I'm somebody who, people say, oh, it's not a race, you don't have to go through it fast. Well, yeah, I know it's not a race. I'm not trying to race, but I'm just once I start something, I like to do it. I like to get it done. I'm not somebody which is why I'm not a serial starter, so I like to be efficient that way, and color blocking helps in that. However, when you have a gigantic spaces, it does, you can see the imperfections of how the drills are laid down. So I prefer color blocking being smaller spurts, smaller little areas. By the way, I don't even know if you've been able to see anything I've been doing this whole time. I'm looking at the camera, but you haven't even seen this thing. I'm so sorry, guys. But Yeah, so I like the line blocking to fill in the stuff, and I like some color blocking. Um, I don't like large swaths of confetti, which, by the way, you'll find in small kits, like budget kits. Like if you get 30 by 40, and you know, or even 30 by most budget kits, I should say, honestly, even if it's a larger one, they'll have minimal colors as far as like maybe 25 to 35 colors. Doesn't sound like a lot compared to premiums, but it'll all be full of confetti because they designed whatever is there. And it's like, you don't need all this color in there. So I'm in the middle. 15. How do you pick which piece you want to work on next? Easy. It's just when I finish a project, I kind of think through my mind, what do I have? First off, is there an event I'm going to be doing something for? And then I'll kind of narrow it down that way. If I'm not doing an event, I'll just go by what I feel like doing through what's in my mind. Like, okay, I did a square this time, I'm going to do a round. Or I did 5 rounds in a row, let me try a square, and maybe I'll do that one this time, you know? That's kind of how it is. It's just, I need to actually feel what I want to work on. I can't just work on anything. 16. What is your favorite season, holiday to diamond paint from? Probably winter. I don't necessarily have a holiday. Like, I don't mind doing Christmas stuff, but I don't want to do all Christmas stuff. You know, don't mind doing wintry scenes. Again, because I like to do ones with the pastels in the winter scenes, and again, because I'm not a landscape person, I generally don't do much, you know, fall. Not fall, because those colors are not my color palette with the browns. Spring and summer are kind of light colors, but I don't really have many paintings that would reflect that has, I don't think, springy outside, you know. So generally, probably wintry. 17. Do you work on one kit at a time or have multiple WIPs at once? No, I'm a monogamous person. Whether it is diamond painting, if I ever had a lover, and friendships, monogamous says I only have a few really super close friends. I have a lot of friends. I consider you a lot of I'm friendly with, friendly acquaintances. A lot of you I consider friends. But what I mean by super close to, like, you know, trust all my secrets to and feelings and all that kind of stuff, it's you know, a handful of those people. And I consider that kind of, you know, small and close circle kind of thing. And I'm just like that. There's, as far as even eating, you know, I'm a big person, but there's very few foods that I actually do like. I'm just that kind of person. I don't... TV shows, I can watch the same show and movie over 1,000,000 times. You know, songs, I listen to the same, like, when I did my 365 list thing, I listen to those all the time. I have like 2,000 on my playlist, but I don't really listen to the rest of them. I just listen to the ones in my, you know, 365 list, which is a small amount, and I've been listening to them, you know, for a while now. And do you think I get tired of them? Nope, but surely don't. So I'm very monogamous that way. When I diamond paint, if I'm doing a big project, I can do 2 at a time, like I did this time, just June, of course. Usually I would finish both. I can work 2 at a time. I can. But most of the time, meaning 95% of the time, I don't do that. I just don't like to do that, number one. And number two, then I kind of feel pressure myself to finish, you know, in a timely manner, what I consider timely manner. And I'm not a fan of doing more than one big one. And that's what he said, at a time. It's a rare occasion that I do. Now, I will work on smaller projects, but even like this one, I'll only work on one smaller project. I won't have multiple small projects going. So I'll work on this for a few days, and then I'll do another one. But if I'm doing a large project and I want to do, again, like I said, I'll do a small project, like special drills at night. Whereas the big drill, round or square, the big canvas, I'll do during the day. 18. Neutral, dark pieces, or colorful? Colorful, 100%. Hate neutral. Dark, I don't mind dark as far as colors, as far as like if there's a lot of black. That doesn't bother me. But I'm a colorful person. I want color. 19. Large pieces or snack size? Either, it doesn't matter. I like both equally the same. My favorite thing to dime paint in the whole world is bubble rounds. Those are smaller usually, 30 by 30s or 30 by 40s. But I love the squares and I love the rounds, or the bigger ones. So I don't have a preference necessarily with size of dime paintings. I will say if it's a round or square dime painting, I do like the larger ones. I don't do many under 50 by 50s. It's a rare time when I'll do a round under a 50 by 50, and I'll never do a square one under that. Place diamonds with tweezers or pen? Pen. I don't understand the tweezer people. They're nuts. I say that with love. 21. Square or round? All right. Controversy. Listen. I love rounds. I prefer to rounds to squares, hands down. Now, I work on squares. I do. I like them. I have a feeling of accomplishment when I'm finished with them. More than I do with rounds. Rounds, I can, it's just like kind of, I don't want to say easy, but, just easy breezy, get it done. Squares, I always say I consider it work, and I always feel accomplished when I finish the square. This thing with squares is, I have also said before that it reminds me of puzzling. When I would puzzle, I kind of had that feeling that I need to keep going, and tunnel vision kind of thing with that. And when I puzzled, I would hurt my neck from trying to get it done. And squares, though it hasn't happened recently, used to bother my wrist a lot when I used to do them. Luckily, that hasn't happened in the last few I've done. But I do prefer working on rounds, but I do squares. And this is where the controversy comes in. Listen, I get some people are like me who will do both. And I'm not a square hater. I just say I prefer. There are people who, and again, controversy. Generally, square people who, even if they do rounds, I feel are very judgmental or has contemptuous sounding, maybe, in their voice when they talk about round people. Just, I know tone and way of people, how they talk. I just don't appreciate that, honestly. I think that we all have our choices. If you don't like a round, that's fine. That's great. But you don't have to be or come off as sounding negative about people who like rounds. And that's just, to me, again, controversy, how quite a few people I've heard speak about them come off. I don't like that. I do kind of also feel that they think they're superior to, they just, again, in just my opinion, that they're doing the real diamond painting and rounds aren't. It's kind of just like when the controversy with the diamond painting sizes. I think that people who only do gigantic ones, they come kind of off when they talk about it as they're doing the real diamond painting because they're doing the real big sizes and the lots of colors and everything. And if you're doing smaller ones, oh, that's cute and all, but I'm the real diamond painter over here. I'm just saying that's how sometimes some people can come off. They might not realize it, and maybe people won't tell you that you're coming off that way because, listen, I've never told anyone that either because I'm not going to start anything with anybody. I'm just saying, just think about, some things just don't need to be said. Just say, I prefer squares. I usually don't hear that with round people who don't do squares. They're round people who don't like or do squares are generally because they've either had a bad experience with it or they just find it, I guess, difficult, or they don't like it, or they're just scared because they've never done it before. They don't have the kind of contempt sound that other people seem to do. I don't know. That's my only wish that wouldn't be that way. Again, just my thought. Don't be mad. And I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying a couple people I've heard sound that way. And I'm not saying who. 20. Place diamonds. Oh, no, I did that one. 22. What is your favorite method of placing AB drills? Well, I gotta tell you, I tend to like best using my multi-placer, even if it's just a single drill, because I could, put single drills down with multi-placer easily. This doesn't have anything in it, but the trick is, because I know a lot of people hate doing ABs because they either stick or they don't come out or they don't, whatever. They're not easy to deal with. I find that when you have used wax in there, because again, I use pink wax, the good pink wax, when it's used, as I'm doing the rest of the diamond painting, you can tell how it's sticking, how it's going down with your other drills. If they're going down with your other drills good, I find that using the ABs, it works fine for me. I generally don't have a problem. Now with the single placer, yes, they do come out. They will stick to it. Sometimes, you have to use your finger to get it, force it in. It is what it is. But I'll also say that, what was I going to say? Like when I just did for May, I did the Phoenix event. I did a thing of the Oraloa canvas. Everything, the whole diamond painting, the best I had, placing, if you want to call it that, I had was ironically with the ABs. It wasn't with the regular drills. Because there was a huge amount of yellow ABs and a huge color block area. Ooh, excuse me. And the best placing I would have with them, because the wax, for whatever reason, was like really worked in there good and stable, and those ABs were so beautiful, but for whatever reason they just picked up beautifully and laid beautifully. They laid the best and picked up the best and went down the best of any of the colors on there were the yellow ABs. Strange but true. So that's how it works with me, is just the regular pink wax works best with the multi-placer for the AB. Not the single placer with the pink wax either, though. That doesn't seem to work. It's always the multi-placer, and it has to be used and worked in. 23. Almost done, guys. Almost at an hour. What is your preferred method of sectioning off a canvas? I actually shot a video of this and then I deleted it because it was a hot mess, I thought. Because I really wanted to show you all, because somebody had mentioned something. My friend Cindy mentioned something when I showed her a progress picture of my Romy canvas and how I had it sectioned. And so I decided, you know what, let me talk about it, to give a tutorial one. So I'm going to do that probably again. A tutorial video on how I section canvases. But I promise to say the short, I don't use washi tape. I hate it. I use release papers. I cut them up in strips. and I section as I'm kind of going, or I should say I section half the canvas with the washi tape kind of as I'm going. And not the washi tape, the release papers. I cut them up into strips. And that's my favorite way of doing it. And again, stay tuned. At some point I'm going to have a tutorial, or I'm going to call it a tutorial, but you know, just how I section diamond paintings, from the little ones to the big ones and all that kind of stuff. 24. Do you have any other crafty hobbies aside from diamond painting? No, I told you I'm monogamous. I don't do any other crafts. Like, I used to be the puzzler, like I said. And I wasn't a big puzzler, but I did color. I haven't colored since I started diamond painting. And I wasn't a fancy colorer either. I prefer just using markers and, sometimes color pencils. And, I do kind of like, I'll get a book, but I kind of do like more kid coloring. I don't need to do blending and shadings and all that stuff. No, I'm just like a straight colorer. And finally, 25. Who do you tag to do this video? Oh, wait, there's a bonus question. Bonus question, if you still have it, show us your first diamond painting ever completed. Yes, I do. So before I do the tag, I'll show you this one. This is the first one I ever did. I know, it's super beautiful, isn't it? This is an Alice in Wonderland one I got on Amazon. Can't tell anything that's in this. It's so detailed. If you go back to my videos from, I don't know, probably a month or two ago, you'll actually see I actually found a large version, a 60 by 90, I think it was, of the same image. They released it recently from a budget company of this design, and I got it to do a review for that. And so now I have my first canvas I ever done, and I have a large size to show. I'd never get rid of this one, even though it looks horrible. But this did get me into diamond painting. It got me hooked in diamond painting, even though it looks bad. Again, just colors. Can't tell anything what anything is here. It was fun to do. And finally, who do I want to tag? It's 2025, and I almost finished it. My little thing here. I will tag Stacy. Talking an hour long, my throat hurts now. I'm going to tag Stacy because I want to hear what she has to say. I want to tag Miranda because I want to hear what she has to say. And she hasn't been doing stuff lately because she's been busy. So I think doing this tag questions will get her back into it. I want to hear Diamond Painting Cajun. I want to hear your tag. So I want you to answer these questions. And I want to hear Joanna from Joanna, you know who you are. Colorful Joanna. I forget her name. Her YouTube name. I don't want to mess it up. But Joanna, I want to hear from you. So hopefully you're watching this. And I think that's it. That's it for now. So thank you all for watching, listening. Sorry for my hot mess of a video. Sorry for my controversial views if you don't like them. Sorry for my sad beginning. I actually did have fun talking about this stuff. I am feeling a little bit better. And so this is kind of maybe getting me back into the groove doing this video. Thanks to Mrs. C for tagging me. I truly, truly appreciate it. The fact that you even know who I am means a lot to me and is crazy. I know you've acknowledged me in your lives before. I don't know if you're watching this, but I know you've acknowledged me before, and we've had fun a few times, in the lives. I haven't been there in the recent months because I just need to go to bed early because I'm old now. But I truly appreciate you and tagging me and making me feel special. So, thanks everybody. Please, everybody, be safe, be happy, stay safe, happy. And until next time, everybody, have a great day, have a great summer, have a great everything. Love you all. Thanks for your support, especially in these hard times for me. So, thanks, guys. Till next time. Bye.